Hello, everybody. Welcome back to your 2020 Memorial Championship presented by Discraft. I am Kevin Jones, and I'm here with my good friend and teammate, Luke Humphreys. Luke, what is going on, man?
Nothing. Glad to be back here with you, man. We got an awesome card today. I'm stoked about it.
Yeah, I am too, man. Who do we have today?
We've got Vikström out of Finland, Jarnes from Norway, Eric Oakley, and Leiviska from Minnesota.
Cool. It's always nice to have some foreigners on the card, kind of spice things up just a little bit.
Yeah.
Here are your round one final scores. Everybody is smoking this course. Yesterday's conditions just played super easy as far as wind is concerned because there was hardly any wind and the temperature was just perfect. So
yeah. They were throwing darts yesterday without a doubt. A little windier today, so scores may be a little lower.
Yeah, I think that there's going to be a slightly different challenge for the players today, a little bit of swirly wind, but it's definitely something for all the players to be thinking about. Hole 1, you guys know it, 393 feet, water the whole way there. It's the most daunting hole in disc golf to start on, if you ask me.
Yeah.
Luke, what's the play here?
Long.
Yes.
Don't go to the drop zone and don't have to rethrow from the tee. I'd say that this looks like a great shot from Oyvind.
That's right. What's Oyvind throwing right here?
That is a stiletto out of Oyvind. You're going to see a lot of them. Looks like he may have gotten the line judge to jump out of the way and possibly trip. Hopefully he's all right.
Right. He actually ended up out of bounds on that shot. There is OB long left. So if you're going to miss, you really want to miss long right. Eric, not today, and that never crossed in bounds.
Just looked a little high out of the hand.
Yeah, definitely.
Kale going with a D1.
Cool. Very, I'd say, veteran play from Kale right there.
Yeah. I mean, if you put yourself at 45 feet, you almost feel obligated to run it. So keeping yourself out of circle 2 makes it easy. You take your 3 and you move on.
True that. Oakley.
Yes.
Oakley is easily one of the farthest throwers in the world currently, and the dude's 17 years old, so
yeah.
Please enjoy the round today, everybody.
Yeah, because we will be. That was an S-line PD2 out of Oakley.
Okay. Eric Oakley opting for the sidearm from the drop zone. Whew.
Another mistake out of Eric. Luckily, he'll be able to tap that in, but just not the way you want to start your chase card round 2 Memorial.
No, double bogey is going to be for Eric. Oyvind looking at a death putt right here.
Yeah, no shame in leaving that one a little low and taking your 3 there. That's a tricky one right here.
And Oakley to start out with a birdie.
Great putt. One of the best putts, I think, on I mean, I can't say he's on tour necessarily, but really good putt.
Yeah, as far as spin putting is concerned, he's extremely effective.
Yeah, brings it all from the hip. It kind of just looks like one motion. Kids, if you're looking to emulate or copy a putting stroke and you like spin putting, Oakley is a great place to start.
I agree. So Eric, since he hit the wall, is going to get to take the disc right here and drop in a 5. That's a double bogey.
Yeah, there were 26 5s on hole 1 yesterday.
Oh my goodness. So
3 6s, 3 7s, and an 8. This hole played the hardest of the day at over a half stroke over par.
How many people you think threw out of bounds on this hole, man?
I know the answer. You guys should guess, and we'll let you know at the end of this. How many people do you think, or how many OB strokes, water strokes, do you think were taken on the first hole?
Oh, that's
of
great.
Day 2.
Let us know in the comments.
Below. Yeah, and we'll finish it up at the end, and probably do a little giveaway. I think we've got some Prodigy plastic that we'd be willing to go. Maybe a Kevin Jones H3 V2 or something like that.
All right.
We'll pick out a winner.
Okay, so hole 2, 703 feet, one of 2 par 4s on the Fountain Hills disc golf course. It's curving left the whole way. This is a slightly lefty favorable hole just because the water's all on the left side, so it's nice to have your disc falling to the right.
Indeed it is. And this one is also one of the tougher ones. We mentioned it yesterday. It's just a 1-2 punch from the start, so getting past these with pars is no shame.
Absolutely. So Oakley, since he does have a big flick, is going to opt for the flick line. I like this play, but it does take at least a 400-foot flick if you want to be in solid scoring position, I would say.
Yeah, agreed. And that was a S-line DD3 out of him. Kale, maybe a little straight on that. That was a D1 out of Kale.
Yeah, definitely a little straight. He's actually going to be pushed up against that wall even with his meter, so that's tough to get up and down from there.
Yeah, Oyvind leaves it a little high. That was an opto stiletto out of him. If you guys don't know, he throws the most stable plastic possible. So lots of stilettos, triple X's, enforcers, that type of thing.
Nice. And Eric absolutely has a big enough flick to make this hole in 2 flicks, so he's going to throw the flick as well. These players were dealing with a slight headwind / right to left wind, so it's kind of pushing everything towards the water.
Yeah, tricky wind to play this hole in. You can see that's pretty well done from Oyvind. He was pinched on the tree after that high drive. Kale looking to attack.
So Kale, if he wants to get a birdie here, he's pretty passive though, and pretty conservative in his play, but he needs to go right around this tree, and he does. What a disciplined shot.
Beautiful, beautiful. Like you draw it up just around the tree. That was D1 for Kale inside circle.
Very nice. Oakley is pushing the left side, it looks initially. It needs to spike. And that is OB. There's nothing really to stop you there. There's no ledge or anything that you could hit. So if you're getting close to the ledge there, it's just going to trickle right over into the water. Luckily, he gets to take it within 25 feet of the basket.
Eric Oakley ripping on a felon.
Nice. So this is to execute a sidearm birdie. Oh, that wind is going to make it hard, though.
Skip.
Whoo!
Well played. And he'll be inside the circle for his 3.
Oh, that was cool to see, honestly.
Yeah. I don't think it's the way he drew it up, but that's kind of the miss for a forehand. You keep it low. You know that there's some sloped gravel there that's not really a ledge, so you can jump on it pretty easy.
Exactly.
Oyvind leaving it a little short on his upshot. He was probably only a 250 out, so he would have liked to have been closer. Putting with the pures.
Oh, my.
Banged it.
What a good-looking putt to start off the round.
Yeah, great 4 save after that drive.
Oakley from OB. This is going to be for par. Yes, sir.
Wow, there's that spin putt. Wind matters not if you throw it hard in the dead center.
Mr. Oakley does execute the sidearm birdie. Much respect, sir, and that's a good start.
Yeah, that was a Raider off the tee for him, by the way. I don't know if I mentioned that. He's loving that Raider.
Cool. And Kale also finding himself a birdie from a slightly out of position.
Yeah. And he's putting with the P Model S, which I am also putting with.
Cool.
New disc from Prodigy.
It is, as of this year, new putter, and there's a few people that have switched to it.
Yeah, Seppo as well.
Yep.
What do we got for hole 3, Kev?
Onwards. Hole 3 is much easier hole compared to the last 2 holes. This is one that you are definitely wanting to get a birdie on. There's not much to say about it other than OB right. The main mistake that you could have on this hole is hyzering something way out to the right and never crossing back in bounds. That would be a lot of trouble. Let's see what these guys do.
FX2 out of Kale, also a new disc from Prodigy. Overstable fairway driver, and that is ideal.
Very nice shot from Kale. Eric Oakley going sidearm. Is that a felon?
Yeah, reaching for his new 2020, I think Lucid X Felon is what that is.
Cool. Very stiff plastic. A disc very similar to the old school flat top Firebird.
Yeah. Ascari wide hyzer with an MD5. Played to perfection.
Wow, that's a beautiful mid-range shot from Oakley.
77% of the field landed inside circle 1.
Wow, so
in regulation.
Very reachable hole, in other words.
Yes. 3/4 of the field had a putt for birdie from a range that most pros should be making it.
Very interesting. And Oyvind is the furthest out here. He is going to make his birdie putt, and that's going to put him at 1 under, or even par.
Back to even. That's a good one. Just high enough for Oyvind. Bounces it off the rim and in.
Yep, the elevated basket does add a factor of sketchiness to this hole, if you must. But really nothing that these guys can't handle, especially on a hole with this difficulty. They were dealing with a slight tailwind to left to right wind, so something that if you're throwing backhand, it's going to push your disc really straight. But Eric threw the sidearm, so it actually got him maybe a little bit more carry to the right, and he does execute his birdie.
Yeah. Yeah, it's great to talk about the physics of the fight like that. That's in depth. I like
Yeah,
that.
it's important to know what kind of winds these guys are dealing with because wind is one of the biggest factors in our game.
Yep.
Here we are, guys. Hole 4, 250-foot par 3. The card just executed a star birdie, so let's see what they've got on a hole that might even be easier. Is it, Luke?
The last hole came in at the 16th hardest, so third easiest hole. This one's coming as the 12th hardest, so it's a bit tougher. I attribute that to the triple mando.
Yeah, absolutely. It's definitely got to do with this triple mando because if you miss the triple mando, you're looking at a 3 maybe if you make a nice putt, but really a 4. Kale showing us how it's done.
Yep, 300 PA3 out of Kale.
Just a putter right to the pin, and that looks like what Eric is doing. Slightly turned over, but still through the mando. No problem.
Right
Pretty
next
much.
to Kale. That was a Warden out of Eric.
Okay. And Oakley, since he is way more comfortable with a sidearm mid-range, I think that's what he's throwing right
Yeah,
here.
Glow MD4. That was a mid-range, people. He's so proficient at the mid-range flick. I mean, Germ comes to mind when I think of forehand mid-rangers, but
Germ is the only one that I would say compares to Oakley's forehand mid-range, and he just showed us right there.
yeah, they're kind of in a class of their own.
So Oyvind being short,
Oyvind drains it from 41.
he was
Great
not
putt.
short on his putt though. Awesome putt. Let's rewind that one real quick.
Great angle. Gatekeeper's killing it with those rewinds. Cool to see. Great putter. Young guy. Tons of potential. The future's bright for that one.
Yeah, and these other guys are looking to clean up a couple birdies as well. And I think it's important to also say that these guys like Oakley and Oyvind are coming from a long ways away and for such a short period of time. So the fact that they're up here on these covered cards playing so well and knocking down these big putts says something really big. You can't really compare to the pressure that these guys are feeling as opposed to some other person such as Eric or myself that get to play tournaments here every weekend, you know?
Yeah, right.
It's a different kind of pressure when you know it might be your last event for a while.
No doubt. No doubt. These guys are rising to the occasion. It's fun to watch.
Yeah, and so let's lengthen it up a little bit. Hole 5 is 441 feet. It is a par 3. It goes downhill, so it plays a little bit shorter than that, but it's still a crush for pretty much everybody. The ideal play is to hang a hyzer really far out to the right, but if you don't have that distance, you're going to have to play a little more direct.
It's a 750 D1 out of Kale, looking like it's a little left, safe side.
Yeah, I think Kale's just playing golf right here, knowing his miss, and he's going to try to just make a 3.
Yeah, soft bid maybe.
I know Eric's attacking this hole.
Yes, that's one of his favorite Mango enforcers.
The famous Mango Enforcer. You can tell how overstable it is. It must be a really trusty disc.
Yeah, leaves it about 50 feet.
Yeah.
Soft bid. There's some really green grass down by the basket, so you can kind of soft bid this basket and not worry about the skip out.
Yeah, that's actually really important to note. As long as you don't go over the basket, you're likely still going to be in bounds.
C-line PD2 out of Oakley. Possibly an obstructed putt, but right at circle's edge.
Yeah, it will be obstructed, but he might be able to craft something out of there. And Oyvind showing us some power, it looks like. Oh, coming up short, though.
Yeah, that was a stiletto, a really stable disc. That was a lot of height and hyzer for that type of disc.
Oh, so Oyvind's layup right there was much too short for what he needed. He's still going to have to at least focus a little bit longer.
Yeah, not what you want. Kale with a little spinner bid. Looked nice out of the hand. Only 18% of the field got into circle 1 in regulation.
Wow. Yeah, this hole is very hard to get into the circle on and have yourself an inside the circle putt. Eric Oakley really close on his bid right there, and Oakley is not straddling or anything. He looks like he's going through the tree.
Let's see it.
Oh.
Just a slight bit too much want on it, but a great line.
Yeah, literally like 1 inch off.
And this might just look like a stock hole, but there were 2 7s, 2 6s, and 5 5s. That's a double bogey. This hole has teeth, both in the shape of OB right, OB long, and then the little flower patch that comes into play.
Yep.
Or a desert area that's just concreted out.
That's right. Oyvind with a great putt there to secure his par. And I think what you're saying is super true about this hole. There's a bunch of teeth to the right, and so Kale and people like that are going to play left and take your 3 and move on.
Yep.
I will be using the restroom on our way over, so put me down for a 3, Oyvind.
And we're back after the nice Japan Open advertisement. I will see you there if you're going. Hole 6 is a par 3 up the hill, 233 feet, but it's going to play just slightly longer because it's up a pretty decent-sized hill. The teeth on this hole are all right side. That super hard slope to the right can pick up your disc and roll it right into the street, and that's how you're going to add some strokes on this hole. Most people are trying to get a birdie here.
Indeed. This hole comes in at the 15th handicap, so 4th easiest hole on the course. You need to attack this hole.
Kale with a pretty effective hyzer there, and Eric is going to show us the other line. If this is the same, yeah, I would totally say it is. It looks like they're dealing with a right to left wind, so Eric's shot plays really well for that. The wind is just going to push it to the ground faster, while the hyzers are going to swing much more.
Yeah, that was a felon out of Eric, an A3 out of Kale, and a Doombird out of Oskari.
Wow, that's a really overstable Doombird. Oyvind, that looks really good. Oh, but the wind did not carry it quite enough.
We don't see it roll onto the street.
Nice. It's always good to be in bounds on this hole. Uphill look at it.
Banged it. And he wasn't out of bounds. His disc stopped there, and he converts on the 2.
Wow, so Oyvind is putting really good right now, if you ask me. He's not making it super easy on himself either.
Dead center. There's no doubt. That thing was good for another 10 feet.
Yep,
Fun to watch.
Fist bumps galore for Oyvind.
Yeah, 60% of the field put this one in circle 1 in regulation. So this was an attackable green for sure. 88% put this in circle 2 in regulation. So 9 out of 10 players that played this had a legitimate putt at birdie.
Wow, inside the circle?
Inside circle 2, 88%.
Okay.
Yeah.
So 9 out of 10 inside circle 2.
Yeah, with 60% inside circle 1. So still a really high regulation.
Yep, and a good putt from Kale through the wind, and Oskari with the park job. Hole 7 is what you may call a dinker, but it is a dinker with some teeth.
With some teeth for sure.
Yeah, so this is one of the better dinkers, I guess you could say, on tour, only because of the feeling that you have when you step up to this. There's just not much room for error on this hole.
Right. There's a slight hyzer you can throw, but basically there's a ceiling that you see in front of him. You can't throw it too high or you drop down into the water.
That's right.
He's executing it really well to the safe side, leaving himself 25. That's a B+ there.
Yeah, most people would be pretty content with what Kale did. Eric turned it over just a little, needs to scoot up, and seems to have.
Yeah, looks like it did. PA3 out of Kale, Warden out of Eric. A little high for Oskari, gets underneath, and that'll be parked.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Very well executed shot from Oskari. And to top it off, Oyvind, let's see if we can get in bounds.
May need to sit just a little bit, and it does.
Man, it's so weird, this hole, because the second that you don't hit the front side of the hill, you're getting really close to OB.
So Glow P2 from Oskari and a Cenis from our boy Oyvind.
Nice. That was a good tailwind putt right there from Eric Oakley.
And if that was the longest putt in the group, looks like they're going to go back-to-back star frames.
It would be almost safe to assume. Very good putt from Kale as well. We're still around 20 footers at least.
Kale's got one of the cleanest putts that I see on a regular basis. I love watching it go in.
I agree.
It's systematic, you know,
Yeah.
the way that he drains.
Very basic.
See if Oyvind can convert. Looking at a bunch of water, but doesn't matter. Well done.
Yeah, with how Oyvind's been putting, that was almost 100%er, it seems like.
At only 210 feet, this hole still had 40 OB strokes taken on it.
Whoa.
So, yeah, 1 in 5 people was throwing an OB stroke on this one.
Yeah, I'm telling you, that hole plays super tricky, and you just feel a bunch of pressure on that tee box.
Yeah, you really do. What do we got, hole 8, Kev?
Hole 8 is your final par 4 of the course, 570 feet, and a lot of people are saying that this is one of the softest holes on the course. I don't know how I feel about that statement because I always feel pressure, especially when I don't get a great drive. But when you do have a big arm and you bomb a drive up there, it can seem like a relatively simple birdie.
Yeah, with the sticky grass by the green and not much movement, I think that that's part of the reason as well. There's a little more wind today, so it didn't come in as easy of a hole as it did yesterday.
This is a cool play from Kale. Like, he's pretty much saying, I'm not trying to hit a specific gap. I just want to get my disc up high and move it to the left because there's more room to the left than we think, or that it looks like from the tee. So
yeah.
Really good veteran play from Kale, I'd say. Eric is trying to get a little bit more distance and
drops down. That's the tricky approach that you'll be talking about. You're actually obstructed by the hill, so you won't be able to see the basket as you throw that.
Oh goodness, that's going to be so hard. And Oakley is making it like as simple as possible. Like, he's just throwing it over everything on a hyzer, so not much can go wrong.
Yeah, if you can do that, do that.
Straight up. That is a fantastic shot, and he's got, I'd say he's got a sidearm mid coming up.
Yeah. Even smashes one.
Yeah, right through the gap. That's what you want to see.
That's big. Sit. Okay. Lots of times you can see crazy rolls from these long players.
There have been some crazy rolls from there.
Excuse me. Let's see how aggressive Eric wants to get. He's going for it all. Blind, he knows that there's a tree pin high, and he's trying to land it 20 feet left of that tree. That's kind of your focal point, and it looks like he just airmails the green.
Yeah, and unfortunately with how dirty the water is around here, that disc may be gone forever.
Yeah. Standstill putter out of Kale. He's so good at that shot. I mean, he's been doing it for 20 years. The man's a legend with the putters.
Yes, he is.
Oyvind and Oskari putted their approaches on the screen. I don't know how I feel about that.
What does that make you feel like, Luke?
It makes me feel like I need to get in the gym or find some like youth drink potion or something. I don't know. These young guys are just bombing and smashing putts. Another one from Oyvind. I feel like he's hit a 30-footer on every hole.
Yeah, I'm not trying to jinx him, but I don't. Other than hole 1, he has not missed a putt.
Yeah, you're right.
Oakley from 25 feet, it looks like.
Look at that shot with the fountain in the background. He's one for the stage, not backing down at all, sticking to his game plan, executing perfectly.
Yes, he is. And Eric gets into the trouble that you're going to see on this hole, and what makes this hole hard is it's on a huge peninsula like this, and he airmailed it. That's going to be a bogey for him.
Yeah, it's tough when you start out with a poor drive like he did. You just put yourself behind the 8 ball a little bit, and you're fighting back. 65% put it in circle 1 in regulation, and it looks like 56% of people birdied that one. So
Pretty good birdie percentage.
yeah, you need to get that one.
Hole 9, par 3, 406 feet. As far as birdies are concerned, I think this is the hardest birdie. It must be the least birdied hole out here at least.
It is.
So we'll get into percentages after we see these guys throw, but I hope to see a birdie. That'd be cool.
Kale.
Kale playing Kale golf.
Yeah. Not looking at the pin at all, deciding what he's going to do before he steps up and executing. I'm sure that he was playing that safe the whole way.
Yeah, I agree. Oakley, the opposite of Kale, I would say, but still not extremely aggressive.
Right, kind of middle of the aggressiveness. If you play left of those trees, you are left with a far easier upshot than Kale's going to have. He might have to bend it around the trees, possibly go below them.
Very true.
Looks like Oyvind got the red flag.
That's what it looked like. I guess maybe it came up short.
That's what I was thinking. It didn't look long.
Eric, I love that line a lot. I think he's not going to park the hole, but it should be really easy.
Stop.
Don't do it.
Stop.
Ooh, wow.
Look at that. Getting himself to the edge of circle 1.
What a great shot from Eric. Do you know what disc he threw there?
I do. Let me look it up for you.
I'm going to guess Enforcer, but I'm not sure.
That was an Enforcer.
Cool.
You're correct.
Yeah, he's not trying to throw the Mango Enforcer there and risk it, but I think that's still a really trustworthy one.
Yep, for sure. Played a little nose up, lots of hyzer.
Kale, we did see his up shot. It was very well played, and he's going to execute his par. Oskari, just a little toss-up for par as well. And
Do
Eric,
it! Just enough. What a way to bounce back after the bogey on 8, easier hole. He comes back and birdies 9. Only 3 birdies on hole 9.
I'm really happy to see a birdie there.
So yesterday, Paul got it, Calvin got it, and Garrett got it. Today, Paul got it again, Eric got it, Tristan Tanner got it, and Jeremiah Miller. I'm not familiar with this guy, but he also got it. So 4 today, actually.
Wow. Great birdies to all you guys. That's a stroke on the field.
Yep, it really is. There were 4 6s and 15 5s. Big numbers were taken. That's the last hole that plays over par the rest of the time. From here on out, we're playing birdie golf.
Yeah, that's right. The back 9 is going to play much easier than the front. And we had some solid front 9 scores. Oskari and Kale both with really consistent scorecards. 6 birdies, 3 pars. Oyvind still has not missed a single putt, unfortunately finding OB on the last hole. 3 under. Eric with a 3 under. And here is your leaderboard at the end of the front 9 of round 2.
Emerson Keith with a hot front 9, 7 through 9. Shredding it. The young guy from Texas. It's fun to watch.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for watching part 1. Really hope you joined for part 2. Your commentary is brought by Prodigy Disc, and we will see you there.